I finally watched the Big Brother 27 finale last night, and it was honestly like a really good episode. On my serialized, I rated it an A minus, and overall, the whole season, I gave a B plus. So let's get into the episode, though. So obviously, with the first part of the final HOH, the challenge obviously is like a physical one. It was definitely fun to watch for sure. It was pretty intense. Morgan ends up winning part one, which I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, she's just so good at comps. But I mean, so is Vince. Because those two have won so many vetoes and HOHs. But yeah, Morgan wins part one. And then with the round table for the jury, Cody Calafieri ends up hosting it. And honestly, like, overall, it was a really good round table. Like, they were pretty, like, all of them were just very, like, intuitive and intelligent with, like, what they were saying and everything. Like, especially, like, Rachel and Lauren, they were really good. Well, obviously, Rachel is always a queen. So, and she really knows the game, so she was awesome. And then, honestly, Lauren was a really good juror, too. Like, she was saying that, like, accountability is, like, everything kind of thing, which is true. Like, that's important in any situation, not just the game, you know? Accountability is very important, just in, like, in general. But yeah, the jurors, though, were very pro Vince, like, his game. But, like, but I mean, they all thought, they were saying, like, good things about pretty much all of them, you know? But yeah, honestly, Cody was a good host for it as well. Like, I've always been very iffy with him, but he was actually a pretty good host. And then for part two, it's obviously like more of like a puzzle sort of challenge-ish. Frankie was hosting it. And the winner of the comp will get to hack the mastermind system, revealing his true identity. And honestly, this comp was really close. But then Vince ends up making a mistake, but Ashley said Ashley did the same thing, kind of. But Vince was so upset with himself. He was just, like, super emotional and upset and pissed off at himself, things like that. And he realized he kind of, like, fucked up. But, like, Morgan was also comforting him, too. But it ends up being Ashley has won part two, which we love that. She finally won another challenge. Because obviously, before that, the only one she won was the first veto, which she needed. So I'm so proud of her. And then it ends up being Dr. Will was that mastermind, which was pretty crazy. That was a little extra, though. Like, what the heck? It was so unserious. Like, why? Like, it didn't really need to be a thing, that extraness, but it is what it is. Sorry. Just had a bit of a cold this week. But then, so the aftermath of that, Morgan is comforting Vince again, and just trying to calm him down. And then Ashley celebrating was so cute and wholesome. I love her so much. It was so precious. She's just so cute. And then, obviously, the final part 3, is always like a one with questions, so they have to obviously answer A, B, or C. But yeah, it wasn't really close at all, because I think Morgan only ended up getting one right or something like that. And then Ashley has won the final HOH comp, which, like, I am so proud of her, because she got the first veto and the final HOH, which, I am so proud of her, literally. Like, truly, it was, so good to watch. And then, they both, obviously Vince and Morgan, are now on the block by default, and they obviously give their little final plea to Ashley, but Ashley has decided to evict Morgan, which is definitely the smartest move, because she probably loses unanimously, most likely unanimously, or really close at least, because, yeah, Morgan definitely beats them both in the end, so yeah, she obviously took Vince because it's more of a toss-up. But yeah. And then Morgan's interview was honestly so classy and so lovely. And she actually said she would have taken Ashley instead of Vince just because she feels that she could have beat her, like if she won the final HOH. And she basically was like, yeah, she kind of had a feeling that Ashley would have cut her. Because, like, yeah. Then, later on, the jurors, which shows the jurors, they all look gorgeous, like, beautiful. And then, oh my god, their reactions to Morgan joining jury were so funny. It was so funny to watch. Because, like, obviously, with Morgan joining jury as the final juror, it was pretty unexpected because they just expected her to win the final HOH. But, yeah. Or just maybe even, they probably could have expected Vince to win final HOH too and take her, but, yeah. But, and then getting into the questions, they were also all really good questions that they were asking. And then Ashley was slaying her answers. And honestly, Vince wasn't doing bad as well. But I will say that Ashley did a little bit better, obviously, but Vince didn't do terribly. But yeah. And then getting into the speeches, Ashley's speech was so great. It was just so good. Ugh. I loved it. I was so happy for her. And then Vince's speech was honestly pretty good as well. And then when the jurors were voting, Rachel is just a queen as always. And then Will was so sweet. He's always been so sweet. Just like what he said was so cute. So wholesome. And then Lauren was honestly adorable too, like with what she said. She's just so precious. And then all of them did a really good job with their voting there. And then the voting is now complete. And then obviously after that it's just showing like the pre-jurors and whatnot. All of Vince's final twos were being exposed, which was pretty funny. And then, oh god, more mastermind stuff. It was kind of very extra. More extraness. I've never been a Jesse Goddard's fan. I just don't like him. He's just very cocky and annoying. And then seeing Frankie again. And then Eric. Eric is iconic too, because, like, he was from BB8, and he was iconic. But the whole, like, segment was just, like, the mastermind segment there was just so extra and just, like, didn't really need to happen, but it is what it is. But yeah, and then getting into the votes, everybody ends up voting for Ashley except for Morgan. Morgan ends up staying loyal to Vince, and everyone else votes for Ashley. So Ashley has won by a vote of 6-1, and honestly, their reactions to Lauren's, like, both Ashley and Vince's reactions to Lauren's vote were pretty funny. But yeah, she probably just was like, yeah. She probably thought Ashley played better or did better in the final two, things like that. But yeah. So yeah, Ashley has won by a vote of 6-1. And, which, I was so happy for her. Literally, like, she was my preseason winner pick. Because I didn't watch all of the, like, preseason interviews, just, like, bits and pieces or a few here and there. But yeah, Ashley's I watched, and she was definitely the person I picked to win. I loved her so much since the beginning. So I was so happy that she won, and played that social game girl and strategic game. And, like, she only won, like, final HOH and the first veto when she needed them the most, and other than that, it was just all strategic and social. I was, so happy for her. She absolutely killed it. And then I was so happy Taylor, my girl Taylor Hale, won the fantasy draft on Unlocked. Yay! I love her so much. And then Rachel, Keanu, and Will were the top 3 vote getters for America's Favorite. But Keanu ended up winning. Good for him. It was definitely because of also the casuals too. But I mean, I liked him too. I didn't like things he said in the house sometimes, but overall, good competitor, and he does seem like a nice person overall though. But yeah, good for him. And then, yeah. And then obviously I'm just so proud of Ashley. She killed it, and overall, really great season. Obviously, I gave it a B plus overall the season, just because some episodes were just kind of a little weaker and boring. Um, and obviously I didn't like every single person, and I didn't like certain things people have said. But overall, I had a very fun time watching this season this summer, and yeah, I'm so excited for next season because Big Brother is definitely one of my summer things. But yeah, it was awesome and so much fun to talk about.